Good day and welcome to our preview today from the race meeting at the Vaal, where we're racing on the Turff track, not the classic track. 8 races. First race off at 12:50, and we kick off with the maiden plate over 1,000 meters. Just before we kick off with our preview, I just want to mention that the fact that on Saturday, the preview for Turffontein, which numbers quite a number of future races, will only be for persons who are subscribing to my service. You can subscribe to my service for this month, since we're already a few days into the month. I'm giving a special offer of 350 from now till the end of March. So contact me on 083 585 5133 should you wish to subscribe to our services. And I just want to point out that normally on these big days race, my selections are quite good, and people have made substantial amounts of money, my present members who subscribe to my service. So here we can go with a maiden plate, juvenile. Let me just quickly have a look at the betting here. Number 3, Retail Click 7-2, 28-10, Voltron 7-2, Franca, Vola to 12-1, 28-1, 40-1, and better the rest. As you know, I normally don't give any selections on this race, but it does look like it's a race between number 3, Retail Kick, and the horse from the Sean Taylor stable called Voltron. Now, those two should fight out a finish. Although on times, the favorite has got better times, but uh, the favorite is giving this filly 4 kilograms, and it has been happened in the past that fillies are sometimes a little bit more mature than colts and geldings. Also, I want to mention that Sean Terry has got a number of runners on this card, and I'm sure he's going to visit the winner's box on more than one occasion. We then move on to race number 2. Let's have a look at the betting here. The betting here is number 2, Riverstown, 27-20, 18-10, Cordelia, Zillar, 4-1, Pure State, 6-1, 22-1, Roger the Dodger, and 50-1, Secret Dynasty. So let's have a look at the field where Sean Terry has got 3 runners in, and on my opinion, my first selection here, Cordillera, as well as my best bet of the day, Cordillera. This horse has been running against some huge opposition. Now, what amazes me is that Cordillera ran against Riverstown, and Riverstown won by 2 lengths with a half a kilogram uh, difference in weights, giving Cordillera a half a kilogram. Now, the difference in weight is 61 minus 57 and a half. It's 4.5 kilograms. So Cordillera is 5 kilograms better for a 2 lengths beating. Surely that should be enough to have a finish in front of the number 2 horse. Also, Cordillera had been running against some decent opposition. Running Brave, Wiley Wins. Wiley Wins has won again. Way of the World won again Tuesday on the Vaal. So I'm thinking that number 3, Cordillera, has have a good chance. Then we have for outsider selections, number 4 here, Pure State. Pure State is a horse of a lot of abilities, but he fails to bring his game to the track, and certainly he can be a very good runner. Last time out, not striding out, and as you can see before here on the fifth on the graduation plate but that was in November, so that's years ago. He was also beaten by Cordillera. So the rest of the field, number 1, Zolzal, I think the distance might be a bit short for him today. Probably getting preparation for bigger races. Yeah, Riverstown, obviously, I think the race will be between number 2 and number 3. So let's move on to race number 3, which is a maiden plate over. Oh, shit. over 1200 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is as follows. Number 2, Grappler, 11 to 10, Eyes on the Tiger, 2 to 1, Ledger Main, 5 to 1, Global Town, 9 to 1, 18 to 1, and better the rest. Yeah, here's another race that are being, that can add to the tally for Sean Terry. Number 2, Grappler, certainly on this form, needs to go very close, can go very close here in this race. The biggest opposition can come from number 1, Eyes on the Tiger, but also have a look at number 3, Global Vision. Include this in all your play. Global Towns, I'm sorry. Global Town is also a horse that can make the placings, as this is not it's not a strong field. There's a few first timers and a few horses who's got no form, and definitely not the strongest field around. Just one thing here is the first time a Legend Man. It is getting -1.5 because it is the friend is on board. I'm not sure how this horse's ability is, but you might want to maybe include this into your quartet and trifecta selections. And then number 6, from the Clinton Kaiser Velvet, does look like she's a horse that can probably be improved on her debut, 7 lengths behind Battle Force, and there's already been a winner behind that race. I think that Battle Force form is going to turn out to be very strong form. So do include into your play. We then move on to race number 4. Where we have another tariff runner, but race number 4, my first selection is number 1, Sabrina Fairchild. If she can bring that races where she ran second or fourth, second behind like Rita, and then also behind Bebop, but finish 4 lengths behind. But there's nothing in this class here of Bebop or Future Lady. But be careful, don't put your house on Sabrina Fairchild, as she looks like a filly who can run in different races. Certainly not a horse to get stuck on. Then number 2, Saruk is also a horse that in this field can probably improve, getting the -1.5. The horse has run some okay races here and there, but as I said, in this field, certainly number 2, Sanak, must have a chance. You also have a look at number 7, which is a first timer from Sean Terry again. Also, I think looking at the breeding, yeah, it's nicely bred, but looks like it might need some distance. But as I said, in this field, can probably be improved. And then also, also for the quartet, you might want to include number 8, number 9, whatever you like from the Clinton bundle. Looks of this horse might be also improve in this field. Then we move down to race number 5, which is another maiden plate over 1200 meters for fillies and mares. Let's have a look at the betting. Oh, I forgot to look at the betting race 4, so but let's look at it while we're here. 12 to 10, Sabrina Fairchild. 28 to 10, Shakura. Graceful Lass, 4 to 1. Saruk, 6 to 1. 18 to 1, Midnight Gem. Whatever you like, 20 to 1, 28 to 1, and longer the rest. And here, race 4, number 7. Hachi Wichi, 6 to 10, 4 to 1. Green Hill, Cape Diamond, 7 to 1. Prince Sabrina, 10 to 1. 18 to 1, Piccadilly, 22 to 1, and longer the rest. Here we can looking forward to another Sean Terry, number 5, Ochewichi. Did debut well behind Bella Black. Already in that field, 30 runners, 4 winners, extremely strong field. And I think number 7 would be too good for this mediocre runners in this field, with the biggest respect to the trainers and the owners, but not a very strong field. You can be looking for improvement from number 1, Prince and Sabrina, but there's also a horse that runs indifferently. Last 3 races, last 2 not too good, and last 3 runs back was behind the favorite when running on a 7.5 lengths behind Bella Black. A horse that can improve is number 2, Green Hill. do include in all your play. Has been running there and thereabouts, can definitely improve in this field. And number 1, Cape Diamond, did run on Tuesday. I think finishing 3rd or 4th. So certainly a few horses with a place chances, but I think that the winner, number 7 at 7 to 10, definitely a huge runner in this race. Then maybe also just for a back end of your quartets, if you want to include number 9, Piccalilli. So then move on to the next race, which is race number 6, which is another maiden plate over 1800 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 3, Parallax 3 to 1, Earl 53 to 10, Twin Turbo 4 to 1, Irish Rain 11 to 2, Sitting Bull 7 to 1, White Fang 14 to 1, Viceroy 16 to 1, and better scratch number 9, Ronan. Here we have another Terry runner that I fancy, and that's number 2, Fred, or number 1, Fred, sorry, number 1. But it is drawn 13, but it's down this, to make sure. It is 1800 meters. Okay, it's 1800 meters, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. This horse did run on well over the 2000 meters. Before that, on the 14 meters, 1400 meters was fastest 400 to finish. Last time out, second fastest 400 to finish. And I'm sure Earl is going to run a huge race in this field. And for outsider selections, we're going to look at number 3, Irish Rain. I think this horse over the 1800 meters can also be improved. Ran behind Light Without last time out, moved up. But I think the 1800 meters will suit Simango Kumalo on board. And then also number 5, Sitting Bull, is also a horse that's improving slowly. Last time out, ran behind a stable companion third, Light Without at 66 to 1. And yeah, this horse is certainly showing a bit of improvement. So do include also in all of your play. And then we can also move back to number 3, which is the favorite, and that is Parallax from the Locker stable. Lucky the Lockers has got a say in all of the last 3 races, so include him in all your play. This horse ran second behind Onus Apollo over the 2000 meters at the Vaal, and same jockey and trainer combination. But I do think that my number 1 might be the stronger of the 2. Then we move to race number 7, which is the graduation plate over 1600 meters, Class C, average merit rate at 79. Let's have a look here at the betting. And here we have number 1, Castle Darrow, also Lucky Udalakas, 8 to 10, Bebop 5 to 1, 10 to 1, Swiss Bank, Keeping the Peace, 10 to 1, 12 to 1, Burn Jasper, 12 to 1, Morby, and 14 to 1, and longer the rest. So here we have number 1, Castle Darrow. I think who should also be too good for this field. He's been running against way better competition than he'll ever meet in this race. Ran close behind War of, not close, but ran behind War of Athena and Anything Goes in a future, and now finding itself in a graduation plate. I think the 8 to 10, help yourself. In outsider selections here, we might look at number 3, Swiss Bank. Did won his maiden, and then 3 rounds later won another a classic Division D. But I think Swiss Bank in this field can be a contender. Do include number 4, Moby, just won her maiden, but she won her maiden well, so I do include in all of your play. And then also number 5, Lyrical Dance, won the maiden. Rosperina came out to win again, was also in that strong range behind Bella Black. And maybe just to include this also in your pick 6, this might be the surprise of the race. We then move on to race number 8, which is maybe the most open race on the day. It is a merit-rated Phyllis Mare 76 handicap, Class D, average merit-rated 72, where the betting is as follows. Here we have number 3, Nina Amalia 9 to 2, Full Velocity 11 to 2, La Greta 13 to 2, Peyton Steers 8 to 1, From Here to Eternity 8 to 1, Towards the Sun 17 to 2, Madame Patrice 14 to 1, Hear the Trumpet 15 to 1, and longer. And we have a scratching in number 11, Jam Fancy. So here in this race, my first selection in this open contest is number 2 From Here to Eternity, Warren Kennedy on board. This horse ran against strong opposition, ran in the same race as number 1, Peyton Steers, and was 2 lengths in front. And there's a 1 kilogram in favor of From Here to Eternity. This horse has run against some nice opposition, did win her debut, then ran behind Rabadoo, which is not a donkey, then went to Scottsville to run in Strelica, being beaten by Venezia, then ran in a future at Greyville, beaten by Love Bomb, which was also strong, as we can see here already. 7 runs, 2 winners, 8 runs, 1 winner, and then also behind Prisciska, 9 runners, 1 winner. And I think his last time out was also in a higher division, and is now running in a 72, so down in class, and I'm expecting number 2 From Here to Eternity to run a good race. And in the same breath, I also like number 1 Peyton Steers, because wherever number 2 is, number 1 Peyton Steers won't be too far behind. Has also run some decent races. Here you can see ran second to Swiss Bank. Swiss Bank has won again and 3 lengths behind a rhyme G4 Go. So last time out, I'd say slow, maybe needed a run. So definitely you include in all your play. And then my other outsider selection is number 5, which is Towards the Sun, who on the beginning last year, this time, won 3 races in a row, and then went to rest, only reappeared in June, and then again in February, certainly needing to run now, getting a 1.5 off. And I can tell you, any horse that can win 3 races in a row can't be a donkey. So do include in all your play. Here we have number 6, Full Velocity, did win a maiden, can be anything. Well-bred Philanthropist by Circle of Speed, the half sister yesterday. Visibility ran in Durban, but did in future. And then also we have the favorite here, Nina Amalia, certainly a worthy favorite, can also be involved in the finish, but ran a little bit behind My Queen last time out. Then here's number 4, Madame Patrice, the type of horse that can surprise. You never know which Madame Patrice is up. If the one that can run turns up, she will certainly beat this field. But did run an improved race last time behind Wildly in Love, so certainly not also included in all of your play. So that brings us to the end of our preview. I do hope that I could point you in the right direction for a few winners, and as I always say, break a leg.